during her career at UC Irvine, redshirted a year ago just to create depth for Oregon. Now they have it.
And that's a nice serve that time. It'll be an ace. That was Michelle Owabede, excuse me, on the serve. Or no, it was not. It was Isabel Patterson.
Kyle, here's something you're going to love. Isabel Patterson from Jesuit High School. Nick Abel is a right-handed pitcher from Jesuit who just was signed to the Phillies 40-man roster.
How about that? Finding a way to tie in baseball as she picks up the service error to go along with the ace. It's 3-2 Ducks now. It'll be Yosia serving for Michigan State here. It's away and over the net, dug nicely that time by Morris, sent back over by the Ducks. That one's dug out by Preston. Now sent over by Preston, blocked nicely, kept alive. Ducks send it back over. Nice job by Yosia. Here's Anderson on a soft hit. Nice play to corral it there. Sent back over once again. It's Collier, well defended by Preston. Spartans back again, Stanishevska, and that one's going to be a point for MSU. Looked like maybe a net violation, Brian.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. That's one that's just won right up front by Stanishevska. I love what I'm seeing from her, especially lately. Oregon's block tested. That time pressed it down well, but Michigan State still comes out with one there.
Great job by the sophomore from Warsaw, Poland. Sent over by Yosia, corralled nicely by Owabede, now sent over by Mimi Collier. Yosia dug it out that time nicely. Anderson with the kill. 4-3 Michigan State now.
That's just tremendous. High pointing that ball, finding the back line. Morris slid over to corral that one, but whenever you have an arm swing right off the right side with Akasha Anderson, it's hard to catch up to. Evidence of that right there.
Nice job that time. Great set piece by the Spartans. Yosia to serve again. She gets it over. It's dug that time. Then that one's going to be sent over by the Ducks, and now they pick up a point and end the scoring run tied up at 4 here.
Yeah, that was quick. That was really quick. I like what Michigan State is doing, asserting their will, making sure that they're testing out Mackenzie Morris. So far, she's been up to the task.
There's Mimi Collier on the serve this time for the Ducks. She sends it over, dug out nicely by Stanishevska. Now she's going to send it back over, and that one's dug nicely there by Morris to keep it alive. Good rally developing here. Akasha Anderson with a kill attempt, and she's got her second of the night. It's 5-4 Spartans now here in the first set.
Gosh, a lot to say about that one, Kyle. I've enjoyed seeing Mimi Collier go after it for this time. She now has 6 attacks compared to just 1 total attack for the remainder of the team. That is an unbelievable workload, exactly what you would anticipate. She might have 50 swings here today.
Myzinga checking in for the Spartans. She serves it over, and now it's going to be dug out by Preston, but it's not going to be enough for the dig. It goes out of bounds, and it's tied back up at 5 here in the first set. A serve here for the Oregon Ducks. Maya De Los Reyes with the service here. Sent over by Kulig, well defended there, back on the Spartan side. Now Stanishevska, and that one's going to get over for the point. Nice kill that time by Stanishevska, and it's 6-5 MSU.
It was an interesting move there, Kyle, to go with Maya De Los Reyes, who has played in 81 sets, but is specifically a serving sub. That's exactly what you see. She just alternated back and forth with Oni Ofebu. They went to the same high school in Long Beach, California.
See that right there, knowing each other's playing styles. Right back into a rally here for the Spartans. Preston sends this one over, and she picks up a kill of her own. So the Spartans off to a good start here. After going down 3-1, they're on a little run. They're up 7-5.
Michigan State hitting .545, and it's balanced. It's Stanishevska, Anderson, and Preston, each with 2 kills to this point.
Stanishevska with the service. Well played by Oregon. They send it back over. Nice job by Yosia on the dig. That one hit over that time, and that's going to be out of bounds. It looked like Colby Neal just missing off to the side, and now a 7-2 run for the Spartans, and they're up 8-5. Stanishevska once again with the service for MSU. And this time she errors. Service error for Staniszewska, 8-6 MSU now.
And Kyle, she lets that one fly, no question about it. That though, now the second service error for Michigan State to this point. Still very early, but letting it rip is Staniszewska.
And Kristen Klein with a service ace that time. So 2 quick points for the Ducks here, and it's 8-7 Michigan State in the first set. Oregon, of course, ranked 13th in the country coming into this matchup. The Spartans doing a nice job holding their own here in the early going.
Klein is such an interesting case, playing behind Hannah Pukis, who now plays for the Orlando Valkyries in the pro game.
Preston, the kill attempt, nicely dug out that time by Collier. Now she sends it over. Good job there by the Spartans keeping it alive, and another point that time for Staniszewska. She gets another kill, and it's 9-7 Sparty.
Yeah, for the Spartans, it has been finding that end line right there. Staniszewska back row attack outside of the 10-foot line. Keep going back to it. Be content with what you have.
Zuzana Kulig on the serve for MSU. Nice job by Owabede to get that out. Now it's sent over that time, and a great job by Noemi Glover on the kill. 9-8 Spartans.
That was one of the more athletic swings that we've seen so far, and what's funny about that one, Kyle, was Zuza Kulig was just left on an island there trying to overhand pass that one. Incredibly difficult.
Owabede sends this one over. The Spartans ready to return. It's corralled that time by the Ducks. Sent over once again. Spartans keeping it alive. Preston sends it over. A nice dig by Owabede. Now Collier blocked by the Spartans. Is Duzema in front, but he'll be out of bounds and a point for the Ducks, and it's 9-9 here in the first set.
Really great up during that possession from Klein. And just look at the way she leans back, hits high hands, fires it off the block. Well done from that space on the floor from Collier.
And Owabede, this one sails out of bounds far to the left, and Michigan State takes the lead right back there. Julia Bishop checks back in for Michigan State.
Take a look, folks, at how deep Julia Bishop serves from. She's about off of the Terraflex right there and fires another one deep.
Sent over by Oregon. Yosia with the dig. Keeping it alive for Anderson. A finesse hit. Corralled nicely, and Yosia saves it for MSU. Bishop trying to get it to Staniszewska, and an error that time, and the Ducks have tied it back up at 10 here.
That was a tough scenario. You could see that one fluctuating, moving back and forth. Bishop taking ownership and accountability, accepting that that was on her. Very difficult one.
10-10 here in the first set. It's going to be Mackenzie Morris here with the service. Nice job that time by the Spartans, zinging it out. Now Akasha Anderson goes for the kill, and it's well defended that time. That was all over that one. It was Noemi Glover with the block.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kyle. That was a big-time block.
It's a great job. As the Ducks have the lead here, 11-10, sent over. It's well defended there. Rally starting to develop. Yosia gets it up to Bishop. Bishop sent that one to Duzema. Now that one's sent back and it's in. Great job by the Ducks, and now they're starting to climb back into this first set here. They have a 12-10 lead.
Yeah, and that's a second one from Noemi Glover. I really enjoy the way that she is attacking it, high pointing that ball, and finding a way to terminate. Definitely, it seems like the first option will be Collier with 9 swings, but then coming behind, we're seeing that second option of Glover.
Absolutely 2 kills for Glover here in the early going. Now Akasha Anderson gets a kill of her own, stopping that Ducks run. It's 12-11 Oregon here now. And that's exactly what the Spartans need, is to get Anderson going. That's her 3rd kill, Brian.
Yes, and hitting now at 3:33. I like what you said about stopping the run. That's a great time and place for momentum.
Sent over nicely this time by Preston, well corralled. That one's going to be another kill for the Ducks. Beautiful job by Noemi Glover once again, and she's starting to heat up.
Heat up is right, and you know, we talk about heating up. She, being from Rancho Santa Fe, California, led Cathedral Catholic in 2022 to a 42-0 season on the back of her.
Unbelievable high school experience. She had 193 kills coming into this game for the Ducks. Now Staniszewska sends this one out of bounds on the kill attempt. Another point for Oregon. It's 14-11 here.
You don't like seeing that from Staniszewska, who has been playing close to error-free in recent history.
Served that time by Patterson, corralled nicely by the Spartans. Here's Akasha Anderson on a kill attempt, and it's another nice block in front for Oregon. Looked like Mimi Collier got in there and made the play, and now a timeout for the Spartans here. 15-11 Oregon. And it seemed like the Spartans were dig by Staniszewska now. After the pass from Bishop, it's Anderson, corralled nicely by the Ducks and sent back over by Morris. Bishop over to Staniszewska once again. It's kept alive by Oregon. Mimi Collier, that one's saved somehow there by Duzema. The Ducks still have it alive. Great play by Yosia now. Bishop, Anderson out of bounds. Another point for Oregon. It looks like that one was a deflection. It'll be a point for the Spartans. 16-12 now. Get another look at this one, Brian.
Yeah, that's a tough one to take to the face there from Collier on that outside pin. And man, it just got tied up. As simple as that. To this point.
Looks like we're getting review here from the officials just to make sure they got the call right on that last point. The call confirmed. Point Michigan State, so 16-12 Oregon here. Serving for the Spartans, it's going to be Yosia. Yosia, it's across to Collier. Kill attempt, and it's going to be a point for the Ducks there. Unable to defend Anderson and Bishop on that side.
Yeah, I look at that, Kyle, as like an outlet pass in basketball. You're on one end at the right pin, you sling it over to the left, and all you have is Mimi Collier ready and set to go. That was amazing.
You see why she is top 10 in program history in kills, and now Akasha comes back for the Spartans. They needed that one, 17-13.
Yeah, it's timely. There's no doubt about that. And Michigan State, you're continuing to see the platooning of the setters here. To this point, it's 7-2, the assisting numbers in favor of Bishop. Look for Myzinga to get more active here.
Corralled nicely by Oregon, and a quick play by Staniszewska to put it back down for MSU. She's got 4 kills now, and the Spartans down 3 here in the first set.
Man, I like that. It's simple. Just out jump. That's all you got to do. Here comes Myzinga once more.
And Rachel Myzinga with another serve here. Nice play by Oregon and a nice dig by Yosia. Back to the Ducks side. Another kill attempt there. And this one's going to be successful. That one's going to be a kill for Michelle Owobede.
Yeah, Owobede with a vicious, vicious swing. 20 kills against Northwestern and 17 kills against USC in the last week. Came over from UC Santa Barbara, another one of the Big West players who made a difference. 2023 Big West Player of the Year.
And she's a versatile player for them. She's got 2.68 kills per set to go along with 2.45 digs per set. She's getting it done on both sides. Rally starting to form here between the Ducks and the Spartans, and Mimi Collier ends it all too quickly. Big time kill there, 19
for this Michigan State club. It's going well right now.
And Mayo De La Reyes sends it over as we're back into play here. Leah Moore sending that one over. Good job by Moore there. She gets her first kill of the night, and the Spartans cut the lead down to 4 here now in the first set.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think we can expect, Kyle, to see more of a Leah Moore, and it's because you will be competing with Michelle Owobede in that side right there.
Staniszewska sends it over, awkwardly played by the Ducks, but they're able to corral it and get it across. Now Juliana Kulig with the big time kill. Back-to-back big points for MSU, and they're down 3 here.
Kulig, just awesome, and they're hanging around with this Oregon team. That was one of the points that Coach Ulmer had mentioned, was can Oregon sustain blows, hang in there like a prize fighter, and rise from the ashes?
Staniszewska sends this across. Nice play by Owabede. Owabede now sends it over and a block. Once again, it's Kulig with the point for the Spartans, 19-17.
So it's interesting, Kyle. We haven't seen another block from the point where we called it out. 2 for Oregon. Now it's 1 for Michigan State. And to solidify, now a 3-0 scoring run, back to 2.
And this one sent over, and it is going to be a service ace with a little bit of luck. Staniszewska, 19-18, and now a timeout for the Ducks.
Kyle, it is so funny how numbers work out sometimes.
Play here, rally going on for Owabede. Nicely done by Yosia to keep it alive. Staniszewska sends it over, and a big-time point for the Spartans. A 5-0 scoring run, and the crowd's starting to get into it here at the Breslin. It's 19-19.
Wow. I mean, what a competition here between these two that we're seeing early and often. I love the fact that Staniszewska has a couple of errors. That doesn't matter. Let's just get back to what we know.
Staniszewska does a nice job there. Mimi Collier in the middle. Nicely done by Yosia, keeping it alive. Akasha Anderson now for the Spartans. It's dug out. Back over to Owabede. Rally developing here. Preston saved by the Ducks. Owabede once again. And that one's kept alive by Staniszewska. Back to Preston, and that's a point for the Spartans. 6 in a row. It's 20-19. They retake the lead.
And Preston has not erred yet. 3 kills, 7 attempts. I like the way she's going. That was just fractionally off of being an issue with her getting tied up under the net, but she finds a way, bodily control, hangs back on it.
Staniszewska sends this one across. Owabede tried to get that one across to Klein, and it works to perfection. So a quick point for the Ducks. It's 20-20.
Yeah, that's such an interesting threshold when you get to that 20-point mark in any set, but particularly this first one that matters so much. We talked about it earlier. Oregon has won the first set in a majority of their games. They have a majority of wins.
This time it's going to be a service ace for Klein. Stand 21-20 right now in the first set. It's going to be Kristen Klein with the serve for the Ducks. Staniszewska keeps it up. Yosia now over to Preston. Preston, nicely played by Collier to keep it alive. And that's going to be a net violation for the Spartans. It'll be a point for Oregon.
Yeah, that's just one that, shoot, man, to get down in Michigan State's case, 2 at this point with Kristen Klein now serving. She's one of those that has 15 aces, 33 errors. She serves uber aggressively.
Right into the game, they test out Hold'em, and she defends it. Gets it over to Preston, who gets the big kill for the Spartans. She gets her 4th of the game. It's 22-21 Ducks now.
Yeah, Preston working outstandingly. And whenever you start the offense with Taylor Hold'em, believe in it. You have to. Taylor Hold'em can pass out of the back row as well as anyone in this conference.
Susanna Kulig now with the serve for Sparty. Nicely dug out by Collier. Collier gets it over to Owabede. Nice job by Kulig. Sent over by Duzema. Collier keeps it alive. Owabede once again, and this time she picks up the kill. Big point for the Ducks. It's 23-21 here now in the first set.
No, that was a close one. That really was. And Oregon just continues to work it around. I have loved watching Michelle Owabede to this point.
And their ball movement has been impressive. And now Owabede comes up with the service ace. The Spartans unable to corral that one, and it sets up set point here. So the Ducks, after going down 20-19 in the set, now lead 24-21 off the back of that 5-1 run, and they have a chance to end it right here. Nicely defended by Hold'em. Preston trying to send it over, and that one's going to be out of bounds, and it will be a point for Oregon, and they'll take the first set. So a 25-21 advantage in the first set for the Ducks, and they come away with that all-important first set victory, Brian.
It's been a really, really smooth offensive start. The absence of Ofebu is an interesting one. 0 errors against Minnesota, then 6 against Northwestern, and 6 against USC.
A good start for the Spartans now. It's a service error for Owabede. She sends that one high. It's going to be Preston now in service for Michigan State. Taylor Preston sends this one over. Nicely played by Owabede. They're going to keep this one alive. Collier sends it across. Preston to Bishop. Now Duzema sends it over for the Spartans. Back to Collier. Collier, nice save there by Bishop. Spartans looking to send it back over. A nice block. Now another attempt. It's staying in front of the net. And finally Collier on the third attempt sends it down and ties the set up at 1-1.
Wow, man. Wow. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about the Long Beach, California connection that we see all over this game. Mimi Collier's from Lincoln, California, but her mother, Nicole, was an All-American for Long Beach State, the NCAA hitting percentage leader in 1997, hit .428.
Akasha, and she's blocked that time by Collier and Ofebu. There defensively, nice job out in front by the Ducks.
It's great to see, Kyle, Oni Ofebu back in this game here. Mimi Collier, though, 58 block assists and now 59, but 7 block solos.
And there an error for the Spartans. Another point for the Ducks. Looked like a miss hit by Julia Bishop. So 3-1 Oregon. They're on a quick little 3-0 scoring run here early on in set number 2. Mackenzie Morris sends this one across, and that one sails. And so the Spartans pick up their second set on as many service errors for the Ducks here in set number 2.
For Michigan State fans out there, they will be largely unfamiliar with Mackenzie Morris, who was 2023 All-Big 12 second team at Kansas State, 1,700 career digs at Kansas State, led the Big 12 last season.
Neilani Yosia serving now for the Spartans, played nicely by Oregon, sent over, and it's going to be a point for the Spartans as Noemi Glover just sent that one a little high, and it's 3-3. Yosia will serve once again here for Michigan State. Sends it over, Owabede gets it up. One's hit by Morris for Collier, and that one's blocked nicely in front. That's Susanna Kulik that time. And the Spartans with a 3-0 run of their own to answer back.
That was well done. The heaviness of the effort from Collier, I feel, starting to become predictable. Michigan State had a chance to get in front of that one with a tandem block. 17 swings from Collier here.
Yosia sends this one over. Playing it to Mimi Collier, and she leaves that one just short. And so now 4 straight points for MSU, and they're up 5-3.
That's another example where Oregon got out of system. Collier tries to go from even outside the court beyond the 10-foot line. Such a tough angle to score at.
Absolutely. It's a tough position to put your attacker in. Collier leaving this one up, gets it across to Glover. Blocked initially in front and kept alive by the Spartans. Now sent over by Stanishevska, and it's blocked but out of bounds. And another point for Sparty. That's 5 in a row.
Great usage of the block that time. Michigan State turned what we thought was a disadvantage into an advantage in that moment. And a 5-0 scoring run, come on now.
We've seen that a couple times from Michigan State in this game. They've done a nice job handling the ball right around in front of the net on initial block attempts, as this one misplayed by Taylor Preston. It's going to be a point for the Ducks.
5 kills now for Glover. That was a huge swing, and the continued pressure on Taylor Preston, that was the game plan for the Oregon Ducks. Can you find number 7 in white? They have so far. She's been good at getting the ball up, but that was one that missed.
Isabel Patterson sending this one across. Bishop leaving it for Anderson, going for the kill, and she's got it. Big time play by Akasha. That's her 6th kill, and it's 7-4 Spartans in the second set.
Good answer. And Kyle, look at it this way. Both of these squads are hitting the equivalent hitting percentage, 227 apiece. Michigan State climbs over that with the recent kill to 250. That is an exemplary percentage to this point.
And a nice serve there, and she'll get the ace. That's Maizinga, 8-4 MSU, and they're on a little 7-1 run here in the second set.
No, Kyle, it's as simple as this. Rachel Maizinga's been known to do some service runs. This one could very well be another one of those.
Rachel Maizinga sending this one across, and back-to-back service aces for number 18. She can keep her hot streak going. It's sent in, corralled better by the Ducks now. And that one's sent in by Ofebu. And it's going to work out perfectly for Oregon as the Spartans tried to send it back across, but the block is successful for the Ducks.
No, that was just ridiculous. I mean, in terms of Oregon's blocking scheme, that's exactly what we imagined we would see. It's been 2 blocks from them early in the second set. That matches their set 1 number.
Mimi Collier comes up with the service ace. The Spartans misplay it there. They thought that one was going to sail out, but perfectly served that time by Collier. Showing off her versatility. She's going to serve again now for Oregon. Collier sends this one across, and this one does sail too high. So an error to go with the ace, and the Spartans take the 4-point lead back. It's 10-6.
Yeah, Kyle, that's important. That, I feel, has been the narrative around the service position for Oregon today. 6 aces, 5 errors, right on that 1-to-1 ratio.
Staniszewska sends this one across. Collier back to the Spartan side. Well defended there. Trying to get that one in. It was Moore sent back across by the Ducks. How did that one stay alive? Rally still going. Oregon gets it across Owabede. That one saved. Maizinga gets it across to Preston. That one's up by Morris. Back over. And that's going to be the point for the Ducks. It's Ofebu. She's starting to come alive here now in this second set.
And Kyle, let me tell you, it is about time for that to happen. Being that Oregon's still down 3 points, can she start to work herself into this offense?
Maya De La Reyes sends this one across. Nicely played by Preston. Maizinga back to Preston. Nice block in front by Colby Neal. Now back across for the Spartans. Klein back to Neal. Maizinga plays it nicely. Yosia across to Moore, and that one's going to be a point for Michigan State.
Good usage of the block again, filling up the middle.
Nicely done that time by the Spartans offensively. They have an 11-7 lead here in the second set. Taking the serve this time, it's going to be Zuzana Kulig once again. Kulig sends it over, and that one's going to stay in. So a beautiful service ace for Michigan State, and they're up 12-7 in set number 2.
Kyle, this has been such a unique service game for both of these schools. 6 aces for the Oregon Ducks, 4 for Michigan State, lurking behind. But one thing we wanted to ask ourselves was who would win the serve and pass game. So far, the jury's still out.
Now a service error to back that service ace for Kulig. She'll check out. Yosia back in. 12-8, Michigan State. We saw this in the first set. The Spartans had, a couple leads. They went on a few runs, but Oregon's runs were just longer and more effective, of course. See if they're able to pull one out here. This one's sent across. It was hit over by Duzema, and a nice save that time by Klein. Now it's Owabede, and she's going to come up with the kill. Great job by Michelle Owabede there. She continues to have an outstanding game. That's her 4th kill.
Yeah, and you know what, Kyle? The hitting number would tell you otherwise, but for her usage and the displacement that she's put Michigan State into, getting them to move in the back row, it's been really efficient, more so than the number indicates.
This one's sent over by Preston. Colby recovers it over to Klein. Now across, that's Glover. Glover, that one's kept alive by Maizinga. Sent across to Preston's side, and she hits it over and comes up with the kill. Maybe not exactly what the Spartans were going for there, but they'll take it. It's 13-9 MSU in the second set.
No, I agree with you. That was a weird one from Staniszewska going overhead with it, but finds a way to put it onto the hitter Preston, and man, all you have left to do is just put it down.
Julia Bishop sends this one across to the Ducks side. This one's going to be hit hard by Glover, and a big swing results in the kill. Big time hit for Glover there. She stays hot. Her 6th kill, 13-10 Michigan State.
No, it's really impressive. It's really impressive. She's hitting .455 to this moment.
Owabede sends this one across. Bishop leaving this one for Preston. Blocked nicely by the Ducks, but the Spartans corral it. Now Duzema sending this one over, and that one's going to be out of bounds. So back-to-back points for Oregon.
Yeah, Duzema there was looking for a block touch. Didn't get it. I like the idea of going with the shove shot over there to Oregon's side, trying to remedy the setter dump we've seen more and more as this game has worn on from Chris Klein.
Owabede will serve again here for the Ducks. 13-11 Michigan State, 2nd set. The Ducks took the first one, and that's going to be a service ace for Michelle Owabede, who continues to be effective offensively here at the Brez 2 days ago. So the Spartans looking to make it 3 in a row here. So Owabede serves this one away, and we're back into action. Anderson sends this one across. It's played by Collier. Klein into the middle for Owabede, and once again she sends it home, and it's 13-13 here in the 2nd set.
Yosia that time was moving closer to the middle of that back row line there, and it just went the other way right against the sideline. A long cross there. You may expect a shorter one in that opportunity. It went long, and it worked.
Owabede sends this one across again. Yosia sends it over. Corralled by the Ducks, now over to Glover. Glover with a big swing, and it's well defended by the Spartans. Stanishevska with the initial hit, and now the Spartans come away with it on the block attempt. Big point for them to retain the lead. It's 14-13.
Yeah, great first contact there by Karolina Stanishevska for Michigan State. I loved the way that she sought out that ball, found a way to overhand pass, and put it right where it needed to be.
Preston on the serve now for the Spartans, and it's gonna be an ace. A little bit of miscommunication, it looked like, for Oregon there, but the Spartans will take it. They're up 2 once again. It's a bit of an awkward hit the top of the net before going across, and Oregon just unable to recover. So once again, it'll be Preston after her first service ace of the day. Glover sending this one home. Big time kill there, point for Oregon.
Yeah, Glover's vision has been immaculate today. Anytime that Michigan State gives up the middle, she finds it. Anytime that Michigan's there too. I've really appreciated the placement from Glover.
And Glover's been great in that outside hitting position today. Now Akasha Anderson trying to do some damage of her own. Well defended that time, and Collier sending it down for Oregon. Nice job by Yosia. Preston with the kill attempt, blocked by Oregon in front. Now Bishop across to Anderson, and that time it's blocked by Collier and Ofebu, and Oregon's tied it back up at 15.
Yeah, big time block, and it's a situation where it becomes predictable. You saw Duzema looking to rise and take that one in a solo blocking opportunity. The ball didn't get there, and now Oregon had a solo ready and waiting.
Mackenzie Morris on the initial serve. It's back across to the Ducks side. Sent down by Ofebu. Well defended that time by Preston. Spartans send it back across. And that time it's going to be a kill for Mimi Collier. Good job there by the Ducks, and they've taken the lead back here in this 2nd set.
So many times Michigan State has been in a situation where the ball's off the net and you have an attack, but it's not necessarily a scoring attack. It's more of the essence of a free ball. That was the case that time, and Oregon made them pay.
And this time another error and a service ace for the Ducks, and so now they match the action. Of course, nothing like a little Cohen Cars and Jeremy Fears to distract some Michigan State Spartans here, and that's going to be a point for the Ducks. Violation there, and they have their biggest lead of the 2nd set. It's 18-15.
I'm not sure exactly what we were talking about. Were we speaking on a volleyball game here? I lost my train of thought. But with that being said, we're back in here, and Mackenzie Morris continuing to serve so well for Oregon.
Mackenzie Morris, as you mentioned, sending that one across, and that's a big point for MSU. They needed it, and they cut it back down to 2 here. As we get later and later in the set, we've seen Oregon be stronger, especially in the first set. looking to continue that trend here in this one. It's a big serve for Yosia and the Spartans. They trail by 2. It's 18-16. Sent over. It's corralled. Now back over to Collier, and a great job in the outside hitting position. She sends it home, and it's 19-16 Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon's passing has been great. I have been confused as to why it is that we haven't seen Nalani Yosia's top spin jump serve. She's certainly taken it down the miles per hour as we get a look at assisting leaders. Yosia not necessarily in the top couple of that one. Look at Klein carrying the day, 16 of those.
Absolutely. I mean, that one's going to be just high, so it'll be a point for the Ducks. Akasha Anderson with a bit of a miss hit. It's 20-16. Back to Klein. She's led the Ducks coming into this matchup with 853 assists on the season, and now she's just upped the ante with 17 already today after that hit. And that's another big block in front, but goes out of bounds, and the Spartans pick up the point, so it's 20-17. A little bit of back and forth action here now late in the second set.
Yeah, Oregon's getting good looks through the middle defensively. They really are, but Michigan State has found a way to utilize that block to their advantage for much of today.
Now Rachel Maizinga, who we saw get back-to-back service aces earlier in the set, but it's corralled this time by the Ducks. Collier sends it in. It's well defended. Stanishevska sends it across for the Spartans. Ducks have it back. Mimi Collier nicely sent it across, and Yosia with a great dig. Now Holden for the Spartans, and it's blocked in front. And it is Ofebu once again. We know that she is a great two-way defensive player, and she showcased it once again right there.
Yeah, I like the fact that Michigan State took it back to Hold'em with the back row attack. She was out in recent games, particularly in Iowa City, precautionary. She's back, though, getting in rhythm.
This one sent down nicely there by Owabete. Just came across to her side, and she sends it home. It's 22-17 Ducks now, and it's starting to come away from MSU here in the second set. Mimi Collier will serve for Oregon. We saw her pick up an ace and an error last time she was back there. Collier sends this one in. It's kept alive, now sent over, and it'll be a point for the Spartans. Aaliyah Moore coming up big there for MSU.
That was an awesome serve from Collier, no doubt about it. Right against the sideline, in tight, only about 8 feet past the net line. I loved what I saw, but Moore handled it well. Platform control was good, and she transitioned from passing to attacking.
Sent across by Stanishevska. Sent back down, and she digs it out. Great job. But Owabete once again out in front. She's been so dominant in that spot all night long. Owabete makes it 23-18 for Oregon. It'll be De La Reyes in for the serve. Sends it across. Stanishevska, Maizinga now to Kulig, and that's going to be another point for the Ducks. And so now it's set point 24-18 as they have gone on an extended run here in this second half, showing why they're number 13 in the country. De La Reyes looking to end it right here. It's kept alive by Stanishevska. Yosia to Preston. Back to Preston, kept alive by the Ducks. Mimi Collier with a kill attempt, and she's got it. Mimi Collier ends a dominant second half of the second set for the Ducks, and they take this one 25-18 and 2-0 in 2 sets for the Ducks.
And so I think that'll kind of take us farther. And honestly, just saying that this is it, we have a little bit of time left together, like why not make the most of it? And so, yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us. And now we're going right back to action. Oregon and Michigan State continuing on. Yeah, that was just a phenomenal moment earlier today, something I'm very proud of. And we're back in action here, but it was just a really good one to take a look at earlier today.
And I know how much you've been looking forward to this Oregon matchup, being a Oregon man yourself. Oregonian, is that the term?
That's right.
I remember you teaching me that a little while back, and right back in the action, as you mentioned. 1-1 here in the third set, a service error and an ace to start. And now quickly it's Juliana Kulig big time for the Spartans. Zuzana coming down with that one. It's 2-1 MSU here.
Yeah, if Zuza can get heated up, that would be a big lift for Michigan State as they're looking to find a way.
Absolutely looking to find a way. Sent across. And a nice dig that time by Stancheska. And now Glover, and that one's going to be out of bounds. Or excuse me, deflected that time by the Spartans out of bounds, so it'll be a point for Oregon, 2-2. Stanishevska had a nice dig that time to keep the rally alive, but all for naught. For Oregon, it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they are in this third set, already up 2-0. Some great insight from Coach Ulmer in his interview with Jack Stagers. Preston sends this one across, handled nicely by the Ducks. Sent across, a play of their own by Ofebu. Nice job there, keeping it alive by Yosia. Now Stanishevska, back to Yosia, who sends it across. A rally developing here between these two squads, and that one's going to be sent over and done. Ofebu. With another big point, it's 3-2 Ducks.
Yeah, you saw the key points there accessible for Oregon and how they were running their offense. Klein doing a great job facilitating. You saw a few attacks there from Collier and closing it out, Ofebu.
It's going to be a serve for Isabel Patterson, kept alive by Kulig, and a miscommunication that time between Maizinga and Kulig, and so a point for the Ducks, and they're up 4-2 now. It'll be interesting to see how quick Leah Johnson pulls the plug and calls a timeout, depending on how quickly Oregon can build up a lead here in this third set. We saw it go back and forth in the first two, but Oregon eventually able to come away. We're clearly the better team in the second half of each of those sets. It's nicely kept alive by the Ducks. Yosia into Maizinga, over to Kulig, and that's a big time kill there, and that's exactly what the Spartans needed.
No, and that was a great example of Oregon's enjoyment of the Terraflex surface. I know we were talking about it earlier with head coach Matt Ulmer, is that Oregon has moved to this similar surface that Michigan State now has, and they've enjoyed getting down for loose balls more often.
Kulig sending this one in for the Spartans. Now Ofebu, but this one's going to be a net violation and a point for the Spartans. It's 4-4 here in the set three.
Yeah, Oni knew that had happened as soon as it did happen. Came over to the scores table, kind of shook the head, back in play here, but Michigan State, an unforced error, leads to a tie.
Zuzana Kulig, she's got a service ace on the day. She sends this one across. Played nicely by the Ducks, and it's not Akasha Anderson, that's Aaliyah Moore over on that far outside hitter position, and she sends it home, and it's 5-4 Spartans.
Can you take me higher? Aaliyah Moore reaching for that one.
Excellent reference by B-Rec there. Once again, Kulig sending this one in for the service error. Not even close, it's 5-5, point for the Ducks.
Here comes the point in this game where you certainly have to buckle down. Both of these squads and their ability to serve. 9 aces for Oregon, 6 for Michigan State, tied at 5 errors apiece.
Mimi Collier, service error. And it comes right back for MSU, and it's 6-5 Sparty now.
Man, I hate to say it, Kyle, but that felt right on cue.
I mean, that's the way it goes, huh?
It really did.
The announcer jinx, a tale as old as time. Julia Bishop now serving for the Spartans. Corralled nicely by Morris. Sent in by Owabete. Spartans able to get it back across. Colmer now. Nice play by Bishop. Now Preston trying to get it in. Collier keeps it alive. Sent in by Ofebu. That one's going to be deflected out of bounds and a point for the Ducks.
Yeah, nice continual pressure for Oregon. I like the way that in Mimi Collier's case, she has such a unique angle of attack, creates side spin off of that ball, makes it difficult for Michigan State to pick that thing up. It's been good.
And here's Maya De La Reyes sending this one across. Yosia now trying to get it to Preston. Big time swing, and that's going to be a big time kill. 7-6 Michigan State. Big time play by Taylor Preston. That's her 6th kill of the night. She's going to take the serve now for MSU. Got a service ace on the day, sending this one across. Owabete. Now over to Collier. Nice play by Yosia on the dig. Bishop getting it to Stanishevska, and that's a deflection out of bounds, so it'll be a point for Sparty, and it's 8-6 now.
Karolina Stanishevska has a couple of errors, but the errors have been limited in the later portion of this game. 3 of them came early. She's had 4 kills and 1 error since the end of set number 1.
9 kills and 4 errors overall for the sophomore. Julia Bishop keeps this one alive. Yosia now over to Akasha Anderson, and a beautiful block that time, but no, it'll be another net violation, so 3 straight points for Michigan State.
Kyle, you've spoken on it, and I've loved it every time you've said it, but it hasn't paid off. Michigan State keeps going on these runs. Can they keep distancing themselves?
Owabete corrals this one now over to Collier, sending it across. Bishop, Yosia, now Stanishevska on the block. She takes it back. Bishop now to the other side for Anderson. Nice save that time by Morris. Spartans have it back. Anderson, that time Collier gets it across to Anderson, who sends it way too high out of bounds, and it's a point for Oregon.
Man, Michigan State would have loved to take advantage of that one. It was the first overpass of the game that we've seen, which is to say that Collier could not keep it on Oregon's side of the net. Anderson had a look at it. That was like, I mean, a stake up there for a lion, ready to pounce on that one, but couldn't find it to the floor.
And now a service ace for Oregon. It's Kristen Klein coming up with her 3rd of the day now, and that'll make it 9-8. And, you know, the stake in the air, that reminded me of that scene from Madagascar where Alex the Lion sees that stake. As now we'll take a look at the digs leaders, Neilani Yosia, with 14 digs on the night for the Spartans. You see Stanishevska with 8 as well, so she's doing a nice job defensively, but nothing doing there.
No, and that's been a rarity tonight, is that skipping through her hands, the overhand pass has worked very well for Michigan State. From the front row, from the back row, it almost doesn't matter. That time it did.
Kristen Klein looking for her 5th service ace of the day, but this one's played by Yosia nicely. Back across to the Duck side. Morris across Owabete. That one's blocked by the Spartans. Now Collier with an attempt and unable to come up with it as Taylor Hold'em. So Mimi Collier ties it back up, gives the Ducks a 10-9 lead here in the 3rd set.
Wow, I mean, what an emphatic 30th attack of the night for Mimi Collier. To me, it feels like as we go on here, she's getting stronger, and she's willing this Oregon team to come back in this one.
Mimi Collier, 9 kills on the night, only 2 errors to go along with that, 5 digs, so she's been good on both ends. Now Stanishevska sends this one across. It's kept alive by Klein. Now back over to Glover, and Glover's going to get the kill. Hold'em unable to come up with that one again. It's a 2-point lead for the Ducks, and you wonder how
Collier's brought.
And Mimi Collier's been an absolute pleasure to watch today. 3.95 kills per set coming into this game to go along with 2.2 digs. In this one, she has been excellent on both sides of the ball. Now a rally developing. Yosia gets it to Bishop. Anderson trying to send it across, and a beautiful block in front. That's going to be Colby Neal with the block. That's going to be a point for the Spartans, actually. Maybe a net violation there.
That, Kyle, was a great look by Colby Neal, searching for that first block. Hasn't found it yet. Been very evasive tonight. But she's had a few times where she's been able to do it.
Sent across by Yosia. Now flying in the air is Glover, nicely dug out that time. Here's Bishop getting it back across to Anderson, and there's the block for Neal. 12-10 Oregon. We're going to send it over to the 3rd member of our crew. Jack Stager's got a hit for us. Take it away, Jack.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. You take a look at this Oregon offense that we've been seeing all day so far today, and take a look at this so far this season. Oregon is 18-3 when recording 40 or more kills in a match. They have 30 right now, but that hitting percentage over 300. I talked about it a little bit before, but over their past 5 games, that hitting percentage is just going to continue to increase. They're 274 over their past 5, but after today, if they can stay over 300, it's only going to increase.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Jack. You can see, as you mentioned, they are above 300, and that has boded well for them, as Jack said. Now Akasha is blocked in front once again by Neal. Spartans start.
Daley McClellan back for that Purdue game. They need that.
It would be big to get back the senior defensive specialist. She's added so much to this program over the years. 2 great blocks there by Oregon in front, and that ball's coming right near us. Out of bounds and a point for Oregon. 15-10 Ducks now. Maybe one of the more athletic plays I've made in my broadcasting career right there.
No, that was electric. I had one a few weeks ago against Washington. That, too, was the highlight of my career.
I'm just glad I didn't drop it there. Yosia sending this one back across for the Spartans. And now she comes up with a big dig there. Collier sending it back, and a third one for Yosia. Great job by Bishop to keep it alive. Anderson sends it across now. Brought back up. Here's Collier, and another dig by Yosia. That's her 4th of this rally. Hold'em sends it over. Nicely played by the Ducks. Now Glover tries to send it down. It's blocked in front by the Spartans. Here's Bishop across to Stanishevska. Kept alive by the Ducks. Here's Glover. That one's blocked in front by Cooling, and the Spartans get a point that they desperately need, and it's 15-11 Oregon.
Oh man, desperation, exactly the term to describe where we're at. 15-11 now in the 3rd block of the match. Michigan State has a couple blocking errors additionally. Oregon, 9 blocks, no errors. That's a major difference in this one here.
Rachel Maizinga now on the serve for Michigan State. Trying to send it in is Colby. One's blocked by the Spartans. Now Stanishevska is blocked in front by Glover. A nice play by her on the outside spot. And the Ducks strike right back and take the 5-point lead back again.
Now that was pretty dang good. I mean, as we're looking at the pin there on the right side, it's a head-on-a-head, a solo block opportunity. Glover stays in motion, in rhythm, and closes that out. Double-digit blocks.
Kulig with a powerful hit inside in the middle there. Well defended by the Ducks. Now across to Stanishevska, and she comes up with the big kill. Spartans needed that, and they cut the lead back down to 4 here in the 3rd set.
Man, this is really something here. I mean, every so often, Michigan State has just a rip of an attack. That was one of those. Oregon had closed it well with Ofebu and Collier on that side, but Stanishevska way too strong.
And Stanishevska on the serve now, and it's going to be a net violation here and a point for the Spartans there on that block attempt. And so now it's 16-13. They're trying to chip back into it here, Brian.
Great patience, I thought, from Taylor Preston, who has only had 1 error. She's hitting .217, 6 kills, 1 error on 23 swings.
Stanishevska sends it across now once again. Sent in for Glover, and a big swing and kabam. 17-13. We've seen power coming from her in that outside hitting position all night long.
That was absolutely punishing. I mean, come on now. There's no catching up to that one in the backhand for Michigan State.
Almost looks like an Alex Ovechkin one-timer, the way they get it across. Just hammer it home. Beautiful job that time by the Ducks offensively in system. Now Preston trying to get this one across, and starting to come down now for the Spartans. Another error there for Preston, and it's 18-13 here in the 3rd set.
No, and that's such a difficulty. Yosia and Preston on that left side were pulled off the net. We've seen it time and time again today. It's hard to score from that angle.
Patterson sending it across. Preston will try and send it back over. It's corralled by Patterson. Klein across to Collier, and Collier picks up another kill for the Ducks. Mimi Collier continues to be the impact player in this game. The Ducks up 19-13 now in the 3rd set. It's really starting to, feel like this one's getting out of reach here for Michigan State.
Never say never, Kyle, but here's what I will say. 34 attacks for Collier. I said 50, not quite there.
Not quite, as Preston sends this one high. 20-13, Oregon, as we'll take a look here at 2 of the Spartans at the top of their games. Zuzana Kulig, and of course, Elani Yosia leading the Big Ten in solo blocks and digs individually. been good defensively for the Spartans. It's been their offense that has struggled tonight. Preston, nice little finesse hit there, and the Spartans needed a point. Now they're down by 6 here. Evie Duzema checking back into this one for Yosia. It's going to be Zuzana Kulig here, serving for Michigan State, and they really need a run here to get back into this match and this set. This one's played across, nicely blocked in front by Preston, and now an error and 2 straight points for Michigan State. It's 20-15.
Huge, huge, huge block. And Kyle, here's a great, great point that I was just thinking about is both Julia Bishop and Rachel Maizenga credited with 13 assists here today. They've spread the wealth between them both equivalently, and it's been really good.
It has worked out when it's worked out. Preston sends this one back down. Nicely played by Oregon. Collier gets this one across and kept alive for just a second by Staniszewska, but nothing doing there for MSU. A big point for the Ducks, and they're 4 points off from coming away with their 20th victory on the season overall. Would make them 12-5 in Big Ten play. We talked about it in the Open. They were in 5th place coming into this matchup in the Big Ten. See how the standings shift around after this road trip here in the Mitten State. Duzema trying to send this one back across. Nicely played by Collier, and now sent over by Morris. Here's Preston. And that one's kept alive by Collier. And the Spartans looked like they were celebrating what they thought was going to be a point, and it comes back across. And the Ducks now lead by 7 here. 22-15 in the 3rd set.
No, and that just speaks to continuing the point on. One quick thought on Oregon. They went 29-6 a year ago, 6 losses this year earlier, but they're poised for a big run.
Absolutely, and Mimi Collier now with the service error. That's what the Spartans needed. I said it a couple minutes ago, Brian. It really feels like, or it doesn't feel like, it's just a fact. The Spartans need a big run to get back into this game.
No, they do. They certainly do.
We'll start here with Julia Bishop. A long serve, played nicely by Patterson. Now sent across by Owabede. Bishop back over to Preston. Preston hits it too high. They're looking for a deflection, but they won't get one. Point Oregon, 23-16 now here in the 3rd set. They're 2 points away.
Yeah, Kyle, my point, as soon as you mentioned that Michigan State's in need of a run, is that, well, gosh dang it, it has to come at the service line. They've really slowed down in that category. Oregon has continued the upward trend, double-digit aces.
Staniszewska, Bishop, Anderson, that's the kill they needed. Hopefully that'll get them going if you're a Spartan fan. 23-17 Ducks.
That was nicely done. That ties Akasha Anderson for a game high in kills on the Michigan State side at 10 for Staniszewska, 10 for Anderson. Think about it this way, though. Akasha Anderson, 10 kills, 10 errors, 30 attempts, hitting 0.
Rough night for Anderson offensively, not what she's completely used to. Usually a prolific player for the Spartans. Staniszewska sends this one high, no deflection there. Point Oregon, and now that'll be match point. 24-17 Oregon. They lead 2-0 in sets. Kristen Klein will have the service to try and end it for the Ducks. Staniszewska plays it up now to Bishop, across to Anderson. Anderson with the kill to keep this match going.
And gosh, Kyle, let me say this. Michigan State has heart. They continue to play. They have been on a winning streak. It inevitably is looking like it will come to an end here today, but they continue to press on and move forward, and I enjoy seeing that from the green and white.
Sent across by Yosia. Collier looking to end it, and it's kept alive by Preston. Just for a moment as that one falls out of bounds. Collier gets the final point, fittingly for the Ducks. They come away with this one 25-18 in the 3rd.